All right, let's talk about that big question. Ever look at a huge company and wonder, how did they even start? How does a tiny idea, maybe one you'd scribble on a napkin, turn into a business that everyone's talking about? Well, today we're going to break down that exact journey.
So how do you really do it? How do you go from that first little spark of an idea to a brand that people actually know, that they trust, and that they want to buy from, not just once, but over and over again?
Here's the good news. It is not magic. It's not some secret club you have to get into. It's actually a formula. And that formula really boils down to three core things: having a message that is absolutely crystal clear, a plan that's rock solid, and a system, a powerful, repeatable system for finding your customers.
So, over the next few minutes, we're going to hand you that formula step by step. Let's dive in.
Okay, first things first. Think about building a house. You can't start with the roof, right? You have to start with a solid foundation. And for your business, that foundation is your core message. It's the one single idea that everything else is going to be built on.
The main tool you're going to use here is something called a positioning statement. Now that sounds like a fancy marketing slogan, but it's actually the complete opposite. Think of it as your company's internal North Star. It's a compass just for you and your team that guides every single decision you make about marketing and sales.
And it's super easy to get this confused with a mission statement, but they do totally different jobs. Your mission statement, that's your public-facing why. It's why you exist. But your positioning statement, that's your internal, super strategic what. It answers what we do, who do we do it for, and why are we the absolute best choice for them.
Let's look at a classic example, Coca-Cola. They're not just selling soda in a red can, are they? Their positioning targets quality beverage seekers, and it focuses on an emotional payoff to inspire happiness. You see, they're selling an experience, a feeling, and having that clarity guides everything from their ads to their new products. And of course, there's Apple. Their positioning is all about zeroing in on people who demand the best. That one word, best, sets them up as the leader in innovation. It's not just a brag. It's a promise that shapes their product design, their marketing, even their price tags. So your message is what sets the entire stage.
Okay, so once you've poured that foundation, you need the architect's blueprint. For your business, this is your business plan. This is the detailed guide that maps out exactly how you're going to build your company brick by brick.
Now, I know a full business plan can look a little intimidating, but don't let it scare you. It's really just a series of logical parts that together tell your company's story. It forces you to think through every single detail, from who you are to your marketing strategy and, of course, how the money's going to work. It's your whole game plan, right there on paper. And that financial plan, that's where the vision really meets reality. A chart like this isn't just a bunch of bars and numbers. It's telling a story. It's a story of growth, year after year. It projects success and gives you, and anyone you might want to bring on board, a really clear picture of where this whole thing is headed.
Now, a massive piece of that blueprint is knowing exactly who you're building all this for. I mean, you could have the most amazing product in the entire world, but if it doesn't solve a real problem for a real group of people, it's just not going to fly.
And that really comes down to answering these four crucial questions. 1. Who is your absolute ideal client? 2. What specific pain point are you solving for them? 3. Who else is out there trying to do the same thing? And 4. What makes you different? What makes you better? Answering these honestly is absolutely non-negotiable.
All right, you've got a clear message, you've got a solid plan. Now it's time for the really fun part, firing up your growth engine. This is the system that's going to consistently and predictably bring new customers right to your door.
So where do you even start? Well, let's just follow the data. Inbound marketing, things like search engine optimization or SEO, is incredibly powerful. Leads that come from SEO have an average close rate of almost 15%. That is really, really good.
But how good is it really? Well, look at this. When you compare it to old-school outbound methods, like cold calls, the difference is just staggering. 14.6% versus a tiny 1.7%. This just proves it's so much more powerful to be found by people who are already looking for you, instead of trying to interrupt people who aren't.
And it's not just more effective, it's way more efficient. Creating useful, valuable content, like blog posts, guides, or videos, generates 3 times more leads than outbound marketing. And get this, it costs over 60% less to do it. That is a game-changing return on your investment. Okay,
Now let's talk about how to pour some rocket fuel on that growth engine. We're talking about modern tools, specifically artificial intelligence, which is completely rewriting the rules for how businesses find and connect with new customers. And if you think AI is some futuristic thing, think again. Almost 80% of B2B marketers are already using it right now. It's not the future anymore, it's pretty much the standard for smart, effective marketing today.
So, how does this AI magic actually work? It's a pretty straightforward, powerful process. First, AI algorithms scan the web to identify people who are showing signs they're ready to buy. Then, intelligent chatbots can engage with visitors on your website to qualify them 24/7. And finally, AI tools can personalize your outreach so you can talk to thousands of people like you're talking to each one of them individually. And when we're talking about outreach, you have to know where to fish, especially in the B2B world. While social media is huge, the data is crystal clear. A whopping 80% of B2B leads that come from social media start on LinkedIn. That's where your professional audience is hanging out.
Okay, we have covered a ton of ground, from the big, fuzzy idea all the way to high-tech tools. So let's pull this all together into one final, actionable checklist you can use right now.
Here it is, the 5 steps on this founder's journey. 1. Nail your message with that positioning statement. 2. Draft your blueprint with a solid business plan. 3. Analyze your market like a detective. 4. Build your growth engine using inbound strategies. And number 5, embrace the modern tools, leverage AI to scale everything you do.
So there you have it, the formula, the blueprint, the engine. The only real question left is the most important one. You have the plans right in front of you. What's the very first brick you're going to lay?